welcome into Going for Two. Ian Nickel, Parker Terrell here. This is a full podcast episode. So we're going to talk about Thunder Game 5. We're going to talk about that hockey. We're going to talk about the Knicks. We're going to talk about, what else is going on?
World Cup rosters are being released
Yeah,
daily.
yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But you know why we're here.
Yeah, we are recording this right after Thunder's Game 5 win over the
Mhm.
Spurs, 127 to 114. Just as pivotal as it gets, we're in our home arena. We're down two starters, essentially, with J-Dub and Mitchell not playing tonight. And the Thunder kind of followed the similar script to Game 3. When they won in San Antonio, the bench guys stepping up. Jared McCain, our guy, gets the start tonight, and he played great with 20 points in 33 minutes. Caruso was great again, 22 points. And Cason Wallace, Cason Wallace started Game 4, doesn't start Game 5, but he still had 31 minutes, 7 points, but he was pivotal on the defensive end. What are your thoughts, though? Sorry, I should say Shea with 32 points in 37 minutes. He, in his own words, the worst start to any game of his career. That was his own words tonight in the post game press conference, or the post game after. So, thoughts?
That was a gutsy, gutsy win by the Thunder in a pivotal game 5. Like you said, down J-Dub, down AJ. Somebody had to step up. And you had McCain step up, you had Caruso step up. Like a lot of that team stepped it up. And that's what you needed tonight. And SGA kind of finally he said that he had a bad first quarter, worst start of his career. Still managed to get 32 and 9. I'm not even gonna mess with the free throw talk. It felt like they called
Had
everything
17 from the line.
17 from the line. Look, whatever. Chet had a double double. Hartenstein had a double double. You needed those two guys to step up. And it just felt like the Spurs were just uncharacteristically like super sloppy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And with the fouls, you talk about the fouls, like a lot of those were legit fouls. Wimby doesn't have a good game. De'Aaron
Bad
Fox
game.
doesn't have a good game. The
Yeah.
bench struggled big time. It just felt like they couldn't get anything going, the Spurs. And a lot of that
Yeah.
starts with Wimby and
I
I
think
don't know.
Wimbenyama himself would say that he had a bad game.
Yeah.
Uh, 20 points, 12 of those are from the line. He also had a really slow first half. He from the field, he goes 4 of 15, 0 of 5 from the 3-point line. Again, this is a pivotal game 5. I know you don't like to hear these stats, but the winner of game 5 when a series is tied 2-2 goes on to win the series 83% of the time. So,
Yeah.
if we would have lost tonight, we would be saying those don't mean nothing. Those numbers mean nothing to me.
Yeah. You
But we
would.
did win, and so now we go to San Antonio trying to close this thing out. Versus we're on our heels. We said this was a as close to a must win as you can get for the Thunder. You're at home, but they're down two starters, and so your back's kind of against the wall in that regard. But now I don't want to say that you're playing with house money a little bit, but you go to San Antonio, definitely trying to win, but it's not all on the line Thursday night.
So you know what showed up tonight for the Thunder? The experience. The playoff
Mm-hmm.
experience showed up tonight, and it made all the difference. The Thunder were cool, calm, and collected in those crunch time moments, and it felt like the Spurs just again they haven't been this far in 9 years. This is Wimby's first playoffs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it showed tonight that obviously the Thunder are the more experienced team, the Spurs still have a lot of growing to do, and I think I think we've talked extensively about how they kind of remind us of the 2024 Thunder when they played the
Mhm.
Mavericks team, and I feel like that's happening here.
Yeah, and I mean we talked about how talented the Spurs can be, how defensively they really get after it. And Wembanyama is so hard to guard. He's so hard to score on. He completely changes the way that your offense will run through the paint. But again, the Thunder, Presti has built this team with so much depth that what other team in the NBA, like what if the Knicks lost two starters? Like where would they be? Imagine the Spurs tonight if you said, "Oh, they don't have De'Aaron Fox and they don't have Keldon Johnson." Where would they be against a full strength Thunder team?
Yeah, no, it
Like
would have
the
been really tough.
Thunder are so we've talked about like how are they going to play all these guys because we've got all these players. I mean, Aaron Wiggins doesn't even play hardly anymore. He was in the running last year for NBA's most improved player. He was making big shots in the finals last year. And so that's why Presti built this team the way he built it is for games like this to where you can be down two guys and still have guys like Caruso, guys like McCain, which that was a addition this year at the trade deadline. We got him for like a bag of chips from from the Sixers, and he's starting in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals and putting up 20 points. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a testament to how well run this organization is, to how Presti is, how good Presti is as a GM. It's a testament to Shea and Mark Daignault's leadership and this coaching staff for making adjustments after Game 4. Shea talked about that after the game as well, just offensively how they were able to make adjustments. And yeah, I mean San Antonio had a bad night, but you all of a sudden like you're talking about championship experience matters so much. And time again, we've seen this Thunder team just shut the door on teams, and it felt like that tonight. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself and say that that's it, but I mean the winner of this game, I think, really takes a huge upper hand in this series.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Oh,
Oh, the
speaking of
Knights,
speaking of
Golden
sweeps,
Knights. Just real quick, Golden Knights dagger. Two, they just scored a second goal.
President's Cup,
Cursed.
President's Trophy curse is real.
About to get swept. The Avalanche are about to get swept out of the conference finals. We'll talk about that later, but they scored. So Vegas going back to the Stanley Cup more likely than not for the first time since 2023 with an
Yeah,
interim head coach.
where they won it all in 2023,
Yeah, they
right?
won it all in 2023.
Yep.
So the third Stanley Cup, I think, in or Stanley Cup Finals appearance in 10 years of the Vegas
Mhm.
Golden Knights. Is that
In the night.
in the night? But I am really impressed by this Thunder team. Chet stepped up, Hardenstein stepped up. That was kind of those were some we were expecting a bounce back game just because of how game 4 turned out and how cold the bench was. And guess what? You got back on the home floor. They got back into a rhythm, and guess what? Like team showed up tonight.
Mm.
And part of me thinks, I think we said this during um probably said this during the game 3 post show. It feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like they're getting gassed a little bit. It feels
Spurs.
like the Spurs are running out of gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, like we talked about this again, just the toll that it takes to go. I mean, you play an 82 game season. Now you're all these games into the Spurs and Timberwolves went 6 games. And so it's a grind. The playoffs are a real grind. And not to mention the physicality changes. That's been a topic in this series, especially with Wembanyama. But it does just look like, especially in that game, that they just didn't have it. The Spurs, a little bit like Game 4. I mean, you could argue if you're a
Hmm.
Spurs fan, you're saying, well, the Thunder looked the exact same way in Game 4. They just looked like they didn't have it. But like we keep saying this over and over, but how important this game was. And the Thunder just, I mean, I'm not going to say they dominated tonight, but they were in control for especially after the first quarter. They were double digit ahead at halftime, double digits ahead at the end of the third, and they won. They won tonight by double digits. So
Yeah,
that's a pretty convincing win. And like now you go to San Antonio, and I think this Thunder team is going to try to close this thing out.
I would think so. This feels, I think either side, I don't think this game will be close. I'm not going to say who wins.
Mm,
I don't think this game will be close because either it's going to be San Antonio comes out on fire or they're going to go out on a whimper. It
hmm
really all depends on how does San Antonio respond from this big of a gut punch. Backs against the wall. Wimby's never been in this kind of situation. How does he respond? That's going to
hmm
be the big factor. I
I
think it's
mean,
all eyes are going to be on San Antonio. Thunder again. I think you said that, house money. I mean, look, you have the game seven in your back pocket. For San Antonio, this is it. And it's going to be interesting to see how Mitch Johnson game plans differently for that. And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that.
hmm
So I
and who knows with the status of Mitchell and J Dub for Game 6. I again would assume that neither of them play. I think in a Game 7, maybe you're looking at Mitchell coming back.
well J-Dub was what? They didn't announce that he was out until like 30 minutes before game
hmm
time. So it
hmm
had to have been like pretty close.
Yeah, I think both of them conceivably could play. Oh, bong!
Um,
Avalanche making it a game late,
2:03 to go.
six on
I don't know if you
five.
saw my face, but I didn't want to say anything because I know that I think you're probably like 10 seconds behind me. So I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want I wanted to wait until you reacted.
Yeah, 6 on 5 goal, empty net
Two
for
minutes to
the
go. Yeah, do it
Avs.
again. I'd like to see this
Oh,
series.
that's unfortunate for the that's unfortunate for Carter Hart.
Yeah,
That's a tough. You don't know where that puck's at.
yeah.
Two guys are in front of you.
Is that a pause? Is
All
that a
right, I don't
pause
have much
moment?
more to say. I don't have much more to say about game. Pause. I don't have much more to say about Game 5. Great Thunder win. I mean, championship runs through Bricktown, and I think that I was. This was the most worried about a game I've been since Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals last year. And you think no?
There wasn't a game seven of the Western Conference Finals.
Game 6. Oh wait, maybe I'm thinking of the Nuggets series from last year.
Second round.
That was the semifinal, excuse me. Game 7 of the semifinals last year scared me. And then was it Game 5 of the finals where Shea had 40 in
Or J-Dub
Indiana?
had 40. Those game
J-Dub had
five
40 in
of the finals.
Indiana.
Yeah.
So I mean, but this game, I mean, you're down two guys. You played terrible in Game 4, and you just want to see how this team responds. And man, they just heart of a champion. Almost an empty net goal there.
Yeah, it's coming down to it. And let's talk about the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, the
Or
what an
you want to,
embarrassing performance. Before we give praise to the Knicks,
eh,
actually no, let's give praise to the Knicks first. Congratulations to the Knicks for sweeping the Cavaliers. The first time they've been to the finals since 1999, the year that I was born.
I was -2 years old.
And so that's awesome. Their fans deserve it. They've been through a lot of bad years for the New York Knicks and all their celebrity fans, whatever. But what an embarrassing performance by the Cavaliers. Truly awful.
Yeah, no, that was bad. And you saw it coming when they made the trade for James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
You knew there was a ceiling there, and that ceiling showed up. I like Donovan Mitchell a lot. I do. I feel like that roster, at least like it felt like they've been so close for so long, and I don't know what you do
Oh, if I'm the
other
Cavs, I
than
think you blow it up.
yeah, I think you have to. Although, man, how
I don't
old
know
is
about firing Kenny Atkinson. That's being floated out there. He
yeah,
just
I
won
don't think I
Coach of
would
the
do that.
Year.
So here's the thing. Mobley is 24. Jared Allen's 28. Donovan Mitchell's 29. I mean, that's a great core. All under 30.
Yeah, in this draft, though, I wonder if they try to get up and get one of those young guys.
Well, they had Darius Garland. And then they decided, no, we're going to trade for Harden. And I feel
Hmm.
like, I don't know, that why would you trade for a 36-year-old James Harden? Like, it just doesn't,
I think
logically, it made no sense to me.
in theory, they wanted a guy, a veteran, that had playoff experience and maybe could close out games, which we saw that in their first round series. Harden was the closer in some of those games and playing well. And people were like, maybe this was a good idea. But then he just, classic James Harden, completely ran out of steam late in a playoff run. And
They wanted a guy with
I
playoff
think the only guy that
experience.
should be untouchable are Mitchell and Mobley. I think Allen is tradable.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think they could all be tradable, other than Mobley and Mitchell. Um, why would you get a guy who has playoff experience, hasn't made the finals since 2012 when he was a six man?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing that out there.
True.
I
A
know he's made
lot
the
of
playoffs
Western
a
Conference
ton.
Finals up against the Warriors, but yeah,
Yeah, but he lost.
yes, they did lose
I'm
to those
saying, yeah,
super
he
teams.
hasn't made the finals since 2012. Like, I don't know. Feel like it was a bad idea, bad trade, and they got to
I
retool
mean, it got
like
them to the Eastern
crazy.
Conference Finals, and it got them a win over a really good number one seed Pistons team. But and that'll do it, folks.
The Vegas Golden Knights are going to the Stanley Cup for the third time in 9 seasons. That's quite impressive.
Hmm. Wow, the
My
Fortress
sister's
in
an
front of
Avs
the.
fan, so I'm gonna.
I can't believe the Avs got swept.
Uh,
That if you would have told me that, and I understand that they didn't have Cale Makar for the first two games, but that is surprising, truly, and I do believe that the curse is real because that Avs team is loaded,
yeah, that Avs team was super good. Best team
and they got
in the
swept.
NHL by far, at least in the regular season.
Tortellini.
Tortellini, John Tortellini, get it done. Um, and and there was a lot of questions about this Vegas team going into the playoffs. The the goalie was concerned. The fact that he fired Cassidy and got John Tortellini in there now. It There was a lot of concerns, but they cleaned it up. I forget who they played
Itchy
in the
for
first.
Mitchy.
Do what?
Itchy for Mitchy. Mitch Marner been huge. I mean,
Yeah,
the leading
that was
scorer
huge.
in the
Eichel, Eichel was
all the
big.
playoffs.
Yeah. Um,
Carter Hart is the reason why the Knights are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. He has really stepped up.
he has stepped it up big time. Great moments are born from great opportunities, and he showed up for this team in the postseason. And I mean, that's a big reason why Vegas is going to the
Hmm.
Stanley Cup. I mean, it was a heck of a ride. The Ducks series was a lot of fun. The Mammoth series was great. It felt Vegas was must watch throughout the playoffs just because they were in these high scoring games. I mean, games 4 and 5 against the Mammoth were 5-4 victories in overtime. You couldn't
Hmm.
look away. And, it happened again. This series was it was also really kind of an anticlimactic series. This was the only game, game four tonight was the only game with a one goal margin.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's shocking as well. And this team won the Pacific Division, and people were like, "Oh, the Pacific Division, it's pretty weak." you know, Colorado had to deal with the Wild and the Stars and all that.
Yeah.
But it's the Knights. It's the Golden Knights that get it done.
Yeah, I mean, there a lot of times we talk about in hockey, teams get hot, and the Knights are hot right now. Now, there's a team on the other side, the Canes. They lose game one, but they've got back-to-back overtime wins now. We'll see how that fares on the Eastern side. Kind of similar
Undefeated.
to
Yeah.
what's going on in the NBA. One side is a sweep, the other ones might go seven, but we'll see. Game four tomorrow night between the Habs and the Hurricanes.
What's so funny, both sweeps occurred on ESPN.
Interesting.
Kind of brutal.
Yeah, that's tough. Um,
Uh,
Tough for the worldwide leader, but
yeah.
yeah.
Canes
What
look
else you
good.
got? You got hockey. Yeah, I mean, we could talk a little bit about the Kings. Back up. Any more about the Knicks? Are we
Man, I
worried?
mean,
Are we worried about the Knicks? If you're a Thunder fan and we
ah,
win one more game,
I don't, I feel like, so we trying to think back of like going to the Pacers series. I would say, at least in the first game, the Pacers were very underestimated.
yeah,
This
they win
Knicks
game
team,
one on a last second shot.
yeah, one on the last second shot. The Knicks team has been playing hot, but they haven't been playing a super high quality number of opponents. I mean, let's think about the path real quick. Avoided the 2 seed in the Celtics, avoided the 1 seed in the Pistons. They they took on the Hawks, the 76ers, and the Cavaliers. That's not necessarily a murderer's row of teams. Like if they swept the Celtics, and then I may be like, hey, like settle down, everybody. Like this team's for real. And I mean, obviously, they made they made the NBA Finals, so they are for real. Brunson is clutch. Brunson's good. They're a well organized team. Josh Hart's going to be pesky with you, but I just think it's really hard for teams to compete with the Thunder just
I think the Thunder
because
beat
of
them in five.
I yeah, and I think the Spurs would beat them in 6.
Yep.
I think it'd be hard for Cat to manage Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be like, oh
You're not watching the YouTube. You should
my
for
God.
that full effect.
Oh my God.
Zesty King, Carl Anthony Towns.
We're gonna have wait, so like, if the Thunder win, you're gonna have Big Zesty and Little Zesty with Cat and Jared McCain. I don't know if his name I made that up that his nickname is Little Zesty.
Mm.
Uh I kind of
The
like it
way
though.
you
That's kind of
walk, the way you
well, you
understand
understand
me.
me.
I'm not worried about the Knicks one bit. But I also wasn't super worried about the Pacers, and that went seven. So
I was worried about the yeah, I mean I I feel better about the Knicks than I do the Pacers.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because I think
I
one, I think we underestimated the Pacers a little bit, but you knew Halliburton was, a weapon.
hmm
I don't we did not factor in TJ McConnell. We did not factor in Aaron
right.
Naismith. And also, like part of that is the Pacers were winning in crunch time. Like they would have these rallies and these cardiac comebacks. The Knicks have kind of gone wire to wire a little bit. I know they had the game one where they blew or where the Cavs blew the 22-point lead and then they just dominated in overtime. They haven't been really put in the pressure cooker yet.
hmm
In fact,
Well,
I think
nobody's put you in the pressure cooker like the Thunder.
yeah. Well, I think in the Hawks series, I think is there a buzzer beater in that one that the Hawks won?
Yes.
So I don't
McCollum.
McCall,
He
yeah,
was a weird.
McCollum. So yeah, I don't know.
Have you heard the rumors about Jalen Brown? Speaking of the Celtics for Sengun,
What?
there's rumors of the Celtics maybe trading Jalen Brown for Sengun on the Rockets and a
Really?
bunch of picks and a bunch of picks. Yeah.
Oh, because of the Twitch stuff?
No, just you pair Sengun with you build around Tatum. Sengun becomes your second offensive option in the post.
Did they
That
not
way,
try that with Porzingis and it just like didn't
who
work?
the heck is Tingus Pingus?
Pingus, Pingus, I've never heard of freaking
Yeah, but
Latvia.
Sengun is better than.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I'm
20
just throwing that out there. I saw that today. I think it was from a reputable source.
John Tortellini is
Have you
his
seen the stuff
second.
about the Thunder maybe trying to move up to get Boozer?
I had seen that. I mean,
I don't know if I love that.
where would he play? Would he play the four?
Yeah,
You
but
know,
he's a guy that needs the ball.
true,
I
true.
don't know. I don't know. I don't see that. I say just stay where you're at. If anything, make sure you get the Yaxel kid. If you have to move up a little
Yeah.
bit for him,
Well, that would require a trade with the Bulls. I don't know if the Bulls want to do that. I don't know if any team wants to trade with the Thunder.
the Bulls,
They're trade fodder.
one of the rare win-wins in sports.
Yeah,
We got Caruso, they got Giddy. Giddy turned his whole career around, probably
yeah,
headed
no,
for
he
a
did. But everyone's
max
like, why'd you give
contract.
up Caruso?
Yeah, but Caruso wasn't going to do on the Bulls what he does for the Thunder.
Yeah. Is he now? Here's an embrace debate question. Is Alex Caruso the best role player since Robert Ory?
Ooh. Man, I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about those Heat teams. Um, I mean, they were bringing Ray Allen off the bench, but I don't think that he's classified as a role player his whole career. Like a guy that's always been a role player.
Yes. Even
Mm. Is
off the bench
Ginobili? Is
too.
Ginobili? No, because he was
Oh.
always a sixth man. Is the designated
Does he
sixth
count?
man a role player?
Oh, that's a great question. You would think by definition, the sixth man is, but you almost consider the sixth man to be his own thing.
Well, especially with Ginobili.
Yeah. And I mean, I think
Um,
Ginobili also started sometimes too. But like when you think of Robert Ory, you think that he's like the seventh or eighth guy off the bench. Kind of the same thing with Caruso.
mhm.
But
He's up there.
we got to
Caruso,
make a
especially if they
poll.
win another ring.
Yeah.
And I don't
Because he would have
foresee the
he'd
I
have
don't
three.
foresee the Thunder going anywhere next year. Caruso's going to be on this team next year.
Yeah. And he brings grit wherever he goes.
Yeah, I mean him having 0 points in game 4 should tell you just kind of how that night went.
Yeah. And I mean they needed him and he got 22 for them.
Hmm.
I mean just another like just big difference there.
Yeah, 4 of 8 from three. He
He was so good tonight. Kaysen, like I know he had 7, 4, and 5, but I think he had like two or three steals.
Yeah, that's why I said defensively he made a big impact. A guy that
Yeah.
you lose your starting spot, but you still that's the Thunder culture is you guy that comes in, doesn't care, still
Caruso
gonna
had three steals too, by the way.
yeah. Just all around a a great win, a gritty win, like you said, and I fully expect the Thunder to make it a game in Game 6.
Yeah, I did too. But I mean, would I be surprised if we're back here and going, well, game seven? No, I wouldn't be.
I mean, there could
I
always be
also,
another really bad shooting night.
yeah, I don't think they'll shoot that bad again though. That
No,
was
and I don't think
egregiously
Shea will only
bad.
have 19 again.
Yeah. I I just don't think the Thunder will play that bad again. Could they get blown out? Yeah, probably. Anybody could get blown out.
Yeah, I mean, we're think about it. We are a Herculean effort performance of Wemby in game one away from this being over. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
that
think
logo
about it,
shot.
I mean
Like,
that was it took that much for them to beat us at home,
yeah.
and there's so many things. That's going to be for the end of the series. We can debrief a little bit and just talk about just what it means. But this Spurs team, we'll talk about it more later. But this Spurs team is coming. They are going to be a problem for years to come for the Thunder because all these young guys for them are just going to keep getting better. I'm talking about Harper. I'm talking about Castle. I'm talking about Wembanyama. These guys are really young. But this series, if the Thunder go on to win, will be defined by the experience that they have showed and the just when they have to win, the Thunder just dominated. Really, I mean that's all it comes down to. It the guys that had to step up did step up. Guys like McCain start the game and play really well, and that just is a testament to the coaching staff and these players and the organization. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And let's one last thing before we go.
Yep.
What did you think of the roster for the United States? You're a big
Well,
soccer
yeah.
guy, so I'll let
Yep.
you discuss this because I'm not familiar with the
Really,
roster just yet.
the only thing that a lot of people are talking about is leaving off the Diego Luna, not Diego Luna. Yes, Diego Luna, striker. He plays for Real Salt Lake in the MLS. Left off the squad. Other than that, I think that it's a pretty chalk with the guys that they picked. There are people that are worried. There are people that think this team's not going to make it out of the group. Our group is not good. I mean, Turkey is decent, but I think that if we didn't make it out of the group, that would be a huge fail of a World Cup at home.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how this team comes together. A lot of these guys were there in Qatar in 2022. We still have Captain America Pulisic, and
Got Tyler Adams and Matt Freeze as well. They're
yeah,
solid.
Gio Reyna.
Yeah.
So Matt Aronson, Balogun at striker, Tim Way. We might experiment with him playing kind of in the back line at left back. That'll be interesting if they decide to do that. Traditionally, he plays more of a midfield role. But I think this is about as good of a U.S. team that they could muster. I mean, yeah, I think Diego Luna would have been a nice add because he is a dynamic scorer in the MLS. But for whatever reason, I think there's a lot more uh, like like the England squad, a lot of uproar. But I mean, that's guys like you're cutting out Premier League starters for other Premier League starters. So it's kind of like okay, that'll be interesting to see how they handle that. They have a first time coach, Thomas Tuchel, coaching them. England squad, of course, last World Cup gets to the Final Four. The teams to beat, though, I mean, and we'll do a full World Cup preview pod, so I'm not really gonna go into that. But I mean, France is still really good. Germany's really good. Spain is really, really good. Argentina still good. The winners of the last World Cup. So it'll be exciting. Brazil, really good.
Brilliant.
Neymar makes the squad
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, he was crying about that, and he'll probably just sit on the bench most of the time, right? And maybe he'll get
Yeah.
like an appearance. And I think probably the same thing for Messi too, right?
That's a good question. Messi still uh pretty fit. I think he'll play some.
Yeah.
Neymar, I mean, he's dealing with like the best in the world. He would have to play over. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way Argentina plays, Messi kind of fits into that scheme a little bit. They also have Paulo Dybala, who is similar to Messi, but yeah, I'm excited for the World Cup.
I am too, and that we are two weeks away from that.
Mhm.
You'll get the NBA Finals preview, and you will get a World Cup preview in the next 2 weeks. That's gonna be exciting. You want to stick around for nickel coverage. It's
Going for two.
Wait a minute. What did I just say? I'm
You're good.
sorry. This is going for two. What? I just had a complete brain fart. I'm so sorry. What the
No,
heck
you're
just
good.
happened? Uh, hold on. Going for two is going to be great the next 2 weeks and every week.
For
The
sure.
name of the podcast is Going for Two. I, gosh, I'm an idiot. Forgive me, man. Goodness gracious. Um, but yeah, NBA Finals preview, World Cup preview, and obviously we'll do post game recaps of the Thunder for the rest of the way. It's gonna be, I mean, shoot, we're gonna have a lot of fun here, and then we got football's just a few months away. Like, is only getting better from here, folks. Keep on tuning
Hmm.
in.
For
I don't
sure.
have anything else to
Yo,
add. Do you got
I don't
anything?
have much else to add tonight. I think,
Ready? Well,
I mean, we've said all there is to say about the Thunder. Um, and yeah, on to game 6.
yeah, on to
We
game
will be
six.
live
So,
after game 6, doing post game as usual. So,
and then, if necessary, we'll be here on Saturday night
yep.
recapping game seven. So, oh, forgot Women's College World Series. We got to talk about that
Oh,
because
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
we,
the OU not making it for the first time since 2015. They lose game 1 on an error in the 7th inning, and then kind of dominate game 2.
Mhm.
Then they just looked completely out of sorts in game 3, get shut out. For the first time, I mean, that's a program that's probably just got to look at themselves in the mirror. They've been
Yeah.
so elite, the top of the sport. It's kind of like when Alabama in football under Saban wouldn't make the SEC championship game. You're kind of like, huh,
Yeah. And you're like, it happened. It really happened. That's how it, like, truth serum. You're like, there's no way OU's gonna not make the,
unranked Mississippi State. Um,
yeah,
Patty Gasso had never lost to a former assistant. She loses twice in the same super regional to one of her
at
former
home.
players. Yep. At home in their this
Yeah.
is their first season of their brand new field. This is the
Don't
first
they,
super regional.
were they not at it last year?
I thought it was this year. Am I crazy?
I don't know. Well, maybe they've had
No,
it
it
for a
was this year.
while.
It's this year.
Was it really?
They opened Love Field this year. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
And so that's tough. And that OU crowd was just so silent in that game 3. I mean, it just kept going. It was 2-0, 3-0,
Hmm.
4-0, 6-0. And it's like, I can't believe this is happening. They're doing it.
The thing that you see happen when OU plays teams, it happened to OU, and I think a lot of us just didn't know how to
Hmm.
respond
Yeah,
because they've been so good for so
it's
long.
so weird without not seeing them in the Women's College World Series. And yeah, so I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, they have one of the best, maybe the best hitter in the country, who's a freshman, Kendall Wells. She gets hurt in that game. It's kind of a scary situation. She gets hit in the helmet and goes down. Was kind of woozy. She came back in, but then she got taken back out. So you know, weird situation there. But credit to Mississippi State, first time making it to the Women's College World Series, and they beat them. I mean, they did what it took. I mean, they came all the way back. I think they were down like 7-1 in that game one or six
Yeah.
to one. They come back to tie at 9-9, and then like I said in that seventh inning, they get that error to get those two runs to win 11-9. That just kind of shell shocked OU a little bit, I think. But then they come back and dominate game two. So you think, okay, well, OU's back on track. They're coming into game
Mhm.
three at home, and they just lay an egg, honestly, out there. And you just don't ever, ever, ever see that from a Patty Gasso team. This is a OU team that struggled with pitching, I guess, all season. But I mean, you still had the best offense in the country. Uh, and like I said, Kendall Wells, who led the country in home runs or was tied for the most home runs. But
Yeah, it was like them and UCLA for home runs this season. Yeah.
so it was wild to see that. Oklahoma State just gets dominated. Nebraska was the better team
Yeah.
um,
Nebraska
in
mollywopped them.
in
It
both
was a
games.
bad
In both
series. And
games, I
then
mean, well, game two it was 2-1 for most of that game.
mhm,
Ruby Malin gets taken out for her last college game, and the relief pitcher they brought in gave up quite a few runs after that, and so it was over. But shout out to Jordy Fromm. She was the
phenomenal.
best player, probably the best player in softball, and I'm excited for her, for the sport that she's going to go to Oklahoma City, Nebraska
Mhm.
for the first time since 2013, I believe,
Yeah.
that they've made the Women's College World Series. I said that they remind me a lot of the Indiana football team, where a really, really good player transfers in, some other transfers come in, and a program that hasn't had traditionally a lot of success is able to really dominate this season. And I think that they should be one of the favorites in Omaha, or I keep saying Omaha, in Oklahoma City, to win, along with number one seed Alabama and also UCLA.
Well, not only that, Arkansas is in it for the first time. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe that.
Arkansas mollywopped Duke in both games that were
Yeah.
riddled with rain delays, lightning
Yeah.
delays. Um, I think it'll be an interesting. I mean, Texas, number two seed in the country, Texas, they lose game one to Arizona State, but they go back to back to win
Mhm.
against them. Would have been crazy if both Texas and OU didn't make it to the
Yeah.
Women's College World Series, but Texas pulls through. So you've got, I mean, like I said, Texas, Alabama, Nebraska, and UCLA to go with Tennessee, who played a really good Georgia team and won back-to-back games in that. You've
Mhm.
got the hot Mississippi State. You've got Arkansas, who's the number five seed. They're playing really well. And the last team is that everybody?
You said Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Tennessee,
I didn't say
Texas.
Texas Tech. I didn't say Texas
Yeah.
Tech.
Texas Tech still looks,
Wild series with
yeah.
against Florida.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
Jason Williams coming out of the woodworks a little bit because I guess his daughter transferred and he might be
Played at
banned from
Florida. He's a Florida
Gainesville.
legend. Yeah,
He said
she played.
was. He said was a Florida legend.
He said he's never stepping foot on that campus again.
That's crazy.
Stuff. So
He also went
he's
to
gonna be.
Marshall, so he could be a Marshall legend.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really great Women's College World Series,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
which
Hopefully the tickets are a little
starts.
cheaper, but there are still like some local-ish teams still gonna be there, so
That
that'll
starts
be fun.
Thursday. So as we're recording 2 days from now.
And then obviously race to Omaha begins. Mercer got completely screwed.
Hmm.
Don't know if you saw that. They were like a
I didn't.
41 team, had like a way better RPI, and NC State gets in ahead of them. But are there any teams in particular that stand out to you? Obviously, I think both the Sooners and the Cowboys have made uh, regionals. OSU will play in Tuscaloosa against a seven seed Alabama. OU will play the two seed Georgia Tech in Atlanta for their regional. And then another great regional I like, Lawrence, Kansas. They get Arkansas, Missouri State, Northeastern. That's gonna be a humdinger. And then shout out Northern Illinois. I don't think it's been a long time since they've made the tournament. UCO legend Caden Robertson is on that roster. Gets the job done there playing in Tallahassee. They'll take on Coastal Kakalaki. And then got St. John's in the mix there too in that Florida State region. So gonna be a lot of good baseball. Gonna be a lot of great
Good to
softball.
see Oklahoma State getting back to a regional. A lot of people
Yes.
said that they were left for dead. Program was left for dead. Holiday's getting fired. Um, they end up going on a run this year and find themselves in a regional.
If they can make a super regional, because I think Alabama could be pretty beatable at times.
Mm-hmm.
If they can make a regional there, that'd be huge. Or
Yeah.
super regional, that'd be huge. What else?
I
Kind of
think
just run through the regions real quick. UCLA will win their region. West Virginia should win their region. Southern Miss, they're hosting Virginia. These uh these are a lot more volatile than the softball region, so you never know. Like there's a region of North Carolina, Tennessee, and East Carolina. Like
the
that's
Pac-12 I saw got resurrected in the Oregon regional.
yes, and Yale, Oregon, Oregon State, and Washington State, and also Yale is there too. So man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait. We'll talk about that also next week. Uh, Another underrated time of the year with, the best of the best in hockey, the best of the best in basketball, the best of the best in softball, and then you got this great weekend of nonstop baseball action, guys being dudes in the college baseball dugouts.
Mm-hmm.
So
And this
it's
year we get
fun.
a World Cup to top it all off.
And the World Cup. Man, if only tickets weren't crazy expensive, we would
Yeah.
definitely road trip it up there to either Kansas City or Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I
That's all I've
have.
got. Yeah, that's all I've got
Yeah.
tonight. Thank you all for listening.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. If you're watching on the YouTube, be sure to subscribe. We would appreciate it. Be sure to comment. Be sure to like. Be sure to heart uh, heart the pod because we love listening or we love seeing all that feedback. And we will be back for Game 6 post game on Thursday night. I'm Parker Terrell 2 on X, Parker Troy 20 on Instagram, Ian Nickel on Twitter, Ian Nickel on Instagram, right?
Yep.
So
Just the
follow us
name
both
right
on
there.
there. Follow the pod at Going for Two Pod IP on both Instagram and X.com.
The way you walk, the way you understand me, the way you move, the way you just whisper. All right, I'm done. See you guys.